how you got into real estate investing. Give us your background.
Most investors that I know, they found a little purple book by Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I found one of his later books called Conspiracy of the Rich. So I was working as a full-time electrical engineer at the time. This is back in 2009. And I didn't feel like I was really fulfilled at the job. And to be frank, I felt like Milton from Office Space, just a depressed engineer, and you just feel like you're in the rat race. You're trading time for money. And I felt like what I was doing, what I spent so many years in college busting my butt off for, wasn't really paying off. Like I couldn't, for just the cost of living to live in the West Coast, I couldn't really achieve the goals that I dreamed of. And I remember sitting at my first job when I realized how much money I'd have to pay in taxes and how much I would keep left over. I had a goals list. It was really small, and I started crossing goals off. Like, okay, I can't buy a house. I can't take this vacation. So I just got to keep working 50 hours a week, and hopefully I'll be able to save enough for it. So there was a bit of a pain. And then I read the Kiyosaki books, and then that really opened me up to the concept of inflation and using real estate investing as a hedge against inflation.
So what you said is depressing. You go to school, you got your job, the dream job, and you're sitting there looking at all the goals you want to do, realizing this is not going to happen. A lot of people would have stopped right there and just stayed in that engineering job, worked 50, 60, 70 hours a week, given up on their goals, or said, maybe I'll get a smaller house, or maybe I won't get married, or maybe I won't. All the things that people do. What do you think it was about you that made you look for something else?
Well, I wasn't an A student. Like even going through engineering, I wasn't top of the class. I was, B, C student. And I'd always just question things, even at the job, and just everything. It's like, why do things have to be done a certain way? So I think just intuitively I was contrarian. Mm-hmm. So when I heard about this concept that Kiyosaki talked about in the books about inflation, most people hear the word and they think, okay, inflation, it happens. The Fed says inflation is 2% per year, meaning if you have $1, after 1 year, your purchasing power goes down to 98 cents. Uh-huh. And after 2 years, you lose another 2% off of that. But when you fast forward and you look over time and you see what the ramifications of that are, you're losing your purchasing power. If your wages stay flat and rent goes up and cost of housing goes up, cost of food goes up, cost of, just everything, food, everything. Then it's just, it just has it's kind of like a wake up call. It's like, I got to do something because I can't just rely on my boss or my job to give me a raise to help me reach those goals. So I looked at inflation as something that happens to all of us. And then the Kiyosaki books kind of opened my eyes, showing me that real estate investing is a way to hedge against inflation. So this is a way you can protect your purchasing power. So you don't have to keep trading time for money, but you can actually have your money work for you, which was what Wall Street was supposed to do, but they don't, they do the opposite of that.